This is the one that started it all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Thoughts for the Soul. I appreciate you tuning in today. If you have not already, please hit that like button and subscribe to stay up to date with channel episodes. So today I want to speak about a shoe that's very near and dear to my heart. Without further ado, let's get to the kicks. The Air Max 1 Pimento, my very first pair of Air Maxes. 3M on the check. Had like a fat tongue. This is during the era where people really complained about the shape of the AM1. Nike L on the ass. I love this shoe. The more and more I got into sneakers, I realized this wasn't the best of quality. It was still just very clean. As you can see, I really rock mine. And your patented Air Max bubble. Man, this probably my favorite of all time. So yeah, man, to a lot of people, it's a very basic shoe. I mean, it is red, so it's popping a little bit. But this was literally the shoe that expanded, like, my mind on collecting sneakers. I mean, growing up, I didn't have J's or anything like that. So the main goal was, when I start making my own money, I'm buying all the J's. And when I say all the J's, I buy all the J's. Some that would be considered a sin in today's sneaker culture. And it probably was back then too, but I don't care. I just bought them all up. So I was a sneakerhead, but more so a Jordan head. And I remember seeing my cousin post this pair on his IG page. He had his legs crossed on a coffee table, just a cool pic. LA vibes. He was living in California at the time. And I was just like, man, what are those? Now, you know, back in the day, camera quality was not great and the IG quality was not great on smartphones. But they still stood out. So I still saw them. And he let me know what they was. He didn't tell me the exact name, but he did, show me a picture of them up close. I want to say he brought them to the family reunion that year. I could be mistaken, but I did see them in person before I ended up purchasing them. I believe, if I can remember correctly. So I went on a hunt. This was my very first Air Max hunt. Like I really wanted this shoe. And I remember looking on eBay. They were selling for astronomical prices at that time, which, looking back on it, wasn't too bad, but just I had never been into resale to that point. So like paying that much over box for a shoe was just unheard of for me. So I stayed patient. I called many stores outside of the state. They didn't have them, or if they did, they didn't have that elusive size 13. So I just kept waiting, and I just stayed patient. And I remember on a weekly basis, I don't do it anymore. I probably need to start back. But I remember on a weekly basis, I just used to go to the sneaker store. Like I would go to sneaker stores, and my typical run would be going to the Gallo and the H, and I would hit up every store. And the way that the Galleria is designed, the last shoe store, depending on which way you came in, I would come in by I believe by Tiffany's. And so the last shoe store would be Chic. And I remember walking into that Chic, and just one day typically on Fridays, the last day of the school week, I would come down from PV, and I went in there, and there they were, just sitting on the shelf looking at me. I almost jumped out of my skin, but the main thing was I was able to actually hold a pair. I knew they were in stores now, and so I was like, man, hopefully they had my size. Turns out they had my size, and it was actually the last pair in stock. So it was just crazy, man. And that was the beginning of my Air Max collection, whether it be the 1 or the 9.3s, 9.5s, 9.7s. That was the beginning of my Air Max collection. So yeah, with that being the very first shoe, I had to have more. So of course I started doing my research, and the OG Reds, they had so many retros of that shoe, I almost pulled the trigger. Glad I didn't. I was able to get them on Flight Club with the reissue a few years ago. They was probably like $25 over box. And then I ended up hitting the Royals on N, one of the very few N clothing wins. N had some of the best packaging, if not the best packaging, for their product out. And ever since then, it's just been Air Max 1 for me. That was the shoe that broke up me just buying Jordans, like J's. Like, it made me begin to diversify my collection, and I am forever grateful. So with that, again, thank you all for tuning in today. And in the comment section down below, share an Air Max story with me. What is one of the most memorable pickups that you have in your collection? Till next time, peace.